What was weird is I said, I mean, no offense, but I thought Gordon Ramsay was more of like a Guy Fieri.
He's not.
Like a celeb chef.
Yeah.
Because he does so much TV.
He does.
Here.
I know. That's why I don't understand how he has time to.
Well, he doesn't actively cook at those restaurants anymore.
No.
But I told Daryl, I'm like, dude, Gordon Ramsay has a 3-star Michelin restaurant in London. He goes, he does? And I go, yes. And I said, should we try to go to it?
He's legit. He's legit.
He is legit. But it just feels like
he wouldn't be. No, I get it.
You know,
but I think of all of the celebrity chefs that we love or that I love, I think he is legit. Like Giada, I wouldn't waste 1 minute of my time going into any of her restaurants.
Giada was a caterer.
She's terrible.
She's nothing. They wanted her to be in. They wanted her to be an actor because her grandfather is a famous director, and she didn't want to do it.
Right.
So she went to cooking school. They're like, all right, let her go to cooking school. She went to cooking school, and because she's so
famous,
beautiful,
they're
like, we'll just give her a show.
Yeah, her family is so well known. They have connections. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, completely.
Yes.
So it's like, and then when I've seen photos of her as a kid and who she used to party with, celebrities. She partied with
everybody famous,
famous people.
Have you seen her daughter? She is the most spectacular looking. Her daughter is
gorgeous.
She is gorgeous.
She's way prettier. Okay, so here's the thing. Oh, hold on. Ready?
Yeah.
I want to talk about it. I almost want to do the 80s dance to it.
I am doing it.
I'm like, oh, wait, I have to turn it off. Welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is episode 576.
Sorry.
Oh, my God.
I know. I wasn't hitting the note, so.
There you go.
Mother, I've told you, you are not singing at the wedding.
Well, I can't find my lucky microphone.
Thank God.
I love that movie.
It's literally one of my favorite movies.
I don't know. You know what? I know it gets a lot of bad shit, but J-Lo has never done a bad rom-com, in my opinion. No. I mean, it's what she's good at. I mean, it's not all. I mean, she's done some movies that aren't rom-coms that are actually quite good. Not just Selena.
Yes. No, not just Selena, but yes.
She had a great rapport with George Clooney in that movie that I cannot remember the name of.
I haven't seen it.
Arrow. And she was an FBI agent, and George Clooney's like this little criminal that she's after.
Oh, right.
And they end up having a thing.
Oh, of course.
And the pre-sex scene, or when they're like undressing, it's, oh my God, is it
good?
It's,
you know what?
So
she is so versatile. And the thing about J-Lo is, like, I was just watching Second Act. Have you seen that one?
Is that the dancing one?
No, this is the one where she's an assistant manager for like a quote unquote Walmart.
Oh,
and she doesn't get the job.
She's with Leah Remini.
Yes.
I want to see that. I have not seen it yet.
And oh my God. And her daughter is Vanessa Hudgens.
Yes,
but she doesn't know it's her daughter because she's adopted.
Okay.
So that's the premise of the movie. Anyway,
so she's good.
It's really, really good. And well, if you like rom-coms.
I do.
So yeah, but it's not a rom-com like where it's about a couple. It's a rom-com where she ends up reconnecting with Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh, that's awesome.
Not knowing she's her given up adopted daughter.
Interesting.
That's haunted her for her entire life.
Oh.
So anyway, she can just muster up the energy and like the sizzle between her and whoever she's playing with, to where you 100% it's like, this is so real.
It's like maybe they're dating.
She really wants him.
Yeah, that's great.
But yeah,
I love
she's very believable like that.
She said it's kind of, it was a couple of weeks ago, but she was saying something like it was a big mistake for her and Shakira to do the halftime show together.
People are coming. Why is that coming? It's because Shakira's getting divorced.
It was like 5 years ago. Like, who cares?
It wasn't 5 years ago, but it was 3. But the thing is why are we talking about this now?
I don't give a shit.
And by the way, that was one of the best halftime shows ever.
Are they trying to make her look like shit or something?
I guess they're, I don't know.
I don't get it.
I hope J-Lo's not behind it. That's all I have to say.
Why would she?
I don't know.
No. Oh, no. I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't think she's that type. She doesn't need to outshine anybody.
And she is not like that.
I hope not.
No.
Yeah.
I don't get the impression.
Shakira's going through right now. She's getting divorced from her husband of 13 years.
Who cheated on her.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
What a fool.
Idiot. Who cheats on Shakira?
Who cheats on Shakira?
She's amazing.
And she's gorgeous.
And she's the sweetest looking soul. Well, why would you do that? Well, you know what? She has bad taste in men.
Perhaps, but the thing that a lot of people used to talk about with those two was that he isn't apparently a billionaire.
Oh,
like he's very successful businessman.
He thinks he can do whatever he wants.
Well, and so a lot of people were like, "How does it feel being married to a billionaire?" She's like, "I literally don't care." She's like, "We are so in love." She's not a billionaire.
She's fine.
She's wealthy.
She's like,
for sure.
She's very well known. She's internationally humongously popular.
But they're on a different level financially, you know. And men,
I know.
Give them some money and decent looks, and I swear to God, it's gonna happen.
I know. I don't understand it.
So I feel bad for her that she's getting divorced.
I do too.
Yeah, at the interview I saw with her, she was like, I am so in love with him. And this was like 3 years ago. It wasn't even that long ago. She's like, I just love him so bad. I don't care if he had nothing. And I believed her. And so if he cheated on her,
as we were talking before, it's like when money is not the thing that keeps you together, then other things
happen.
Well, not just happen, but it's like when money has solved
when money's out of the equation,
it's not about the money.
Non-issue.
Like it's equal footing in the sense that I don't need you to take care of me.
Yeah.
You don't need me.
We're not going to devastate each other financially if we break up.
Or whatever.
Yeah, we'll both be fine.
Yeah, our kids are fine, whatever. Yeah. Now, other things happen, like the flaws that you wouldn't have noticed necessarily if money was the thing.
Right.
Are very apparent.
That's true. I don't know because I've been poor for so long. But yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, not only that, but then you just become incredibly like you're looking at other things like what are you bringing to me that will make me want to be with you?
That's actually true, and I do feel that way now. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I'm like, you know what, I have a career.
When you're self-sufficient, suddenly you're looking at a potential.
And the older
someone.
you get, it's not a lie when people say the older you get, the more you value your time and your life and what you're doing with it.
And don't want to waste your time on stupid people.
I really don't. No. Or being miserable, you know, or being being unhappy.
There's a thing that's going around right now that that most women are happier single than married.
I believe it,
and I believe it too.
But I just,
you know what? It's women who are happily married and satisfied. They're like, I don't understand. I understand.
Well, we're very, very independent.
Yeah. For
by
example,
nature,
you know, Daryl and I have been spending copious amounts of time together.
Yeah.
And for him, he loves it. So he's constantly like, what are you doing? Where are you going? I'm like,
this is my husband too.
Why do you have to be this way? Because now I'm going to have to be the bitch.
Always.
And be like, there have been 2 or 3 moments in the last week. Cause I'll go outside quietly sitting, watching TikToks, drinking a glass of wine, leaving just by myself.
And you get all of 2.5 minutes
and all of a sudden I hear this. Oh, here you are. I'm like, wow.
I got less than 5 minutes.
Can I sit with you? And what am I going to say? No. In my mind, I'm like, no.
I came into the kitchen this morning, God damn it, thinking that I was the only one. Like Jerry was doing something. He had been all morning. He'd be flitting around, you know,
just
like
living his life.
Right. And so I'm like, I'm going to go into the kitchen and get my Snapple so I can get ready to get in my shower. I mean, you know, it's Sunday. So for me,
my little life,
I can do things at my own speed, which is great.
Yeah.
So I go in and he's in the refrigerator where I'm going to get my Snapple. And I immediately stop.
You're like, God damn it.
Roll my eyes. And I'm like, God, you're everywhere. Everywhere I go, you are there.
Everywhere I see.
Oh my God. I was like,
when I close my eyes.
I'm like, poor Jerry. He doesn't even know the thoughts I have. Thank God.
There was a point, I don't even remember. It was a while ago, a couple of days ago. And I'm like, you know what? I almost can't wait to go to sleep. Just because I know I'll be alone.
Escape.
I'll be alone. I can go to sleep.
But yeah, it's so true. I mean, can't even do laundry. I literally, the garage is like the only place where I'm like, they can't physically see me because I'm out here.
But will they seek you out?
Immediately. Yeah. I heard that.
Like, what are you doing, Mom? I'm like, oh my God.
No, it's not Jeff.
Oh, it's your
Jeff
husband.
could care less what I'm doing.
What? I don't know.
I come into his room and it's mute, pause, what? I'm like, what is it that I can't see that you're muting and pausing the moment I walk in the door? Nothing. I just can't talk to my friends when you're in here. So can you please not say anything if you're going to stay?
Oh my God. I'd be like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I do.
I'd be like,
no, you know what I did? I hid in my room and I came in the room and I'm like, moo. I started making like farm animal noises.
Mom, you're embarrassing me.
He didn't know. He was so quick. He keeps his finger on the button.
Oh, he's prepared.
Because he knows me.
He knows you. That's so funny. But yeah, so it's
he's like, ha ha, he didn't get me.
And you know, Daryl will hear this and he's like, honey, I had no idea. I'm like, oh, stop it.
We've talked about this on the show a million times.
Come on.
Yeah, and he edits the show so he knows.
I need some respite. God. And so like I told him, like, when are you traveling again?
I'm thinking a business trip is the good way for you to get some free time.
Anyway, so I don't know. Oh, we were talking about Giada before the show, which kind of segues into what other things we're going to talk about. But anyway, so her daughter, stunning. Jade is beautiful. I think she's 15
she is.
Or something like that. So she's
getting up there.
There's a new show that they're filming. She has a new boyfriend, Giada does.
Well, he's not new, but yes.
What newish? 5 years. Okay, that's, yeah. But now he's making appearances on her show.
Yeah, he's a producer.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Yeah, they're in the business.
They're in the biz.
Both. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so she was doing this show where she was filming in New York, and she's like, I love New York. It's inspiring and all this stuff. And they're like this cute little brownstone that they live in. But here's the thing that I do not like about Giada. And
her mouth?
No, well, physically, yes. But here's the thing. Just like you can find in a room of 100 people, the wife beater.
Yes.
Or the guy that cheats on his wife.
You do, but yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, I can pick them out without any problem.
Yeah.
The same thing. I've been fat shamed by people in my life.
Right.
My whole life.
So you think she's one of those?
Hardcore.
Because she's so skinny?
Well, it's not only that, but like I was watching this show and she's like, even the brownies she made were healthy. Ugh. And she's like, oh, let's treat ourselves. Everything. She goes, well, this is Jade's favorite lunch. And it was like quinoa with sauteed asparagus.
Right.
And, like no meat. It was just like, she goes, oh, she loves this. And, oh, this is what I make. She loves this quinoa. It's a superfood. And I make this for breakfast for her with berries. And if we're feeling froggy, I'll add honey. And I'm like,
when honey's a treat.
And it is a treat for people who don't want to get
any kind of
sugar.
Oh my God.
But then she's like, Jade, come down to breakfast. She's like, and so Jade's eating it. And she's like, isn't it delicious? She's like, oh yes, Mom, this is so good. And I'm like, that poor girl is eating like a rabbit.
No one loves quinoa.
And then she made these healthy.
Do we eat it when we're trying to lose weight or maintain? Yes, but we don't love it.
It's good for you, but it's not a staple that it should be in everything you make. And then, oh, this is our favorite meal, and it was like broth soup.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, and she's making this for her 14-year-old daughter who is healthy looking. She's not underweight. She's gorgeous.
But I mean, think about her example.
But I mean, her mom is so thin that her head is extra large.
Her head is bony.
It's so big. And her body is so tiny. And it's like, this is not a natural body shape.
And the thing is like, I used to be thin women or people who have
naturally skinny.
Yes, thank you.
You were born thin.
And you can't help it.
No.
You're just like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry. This is how I am. But she isn't even that.
No.
Like, it's not even that. She must have an eating disorders.
Or she just, I mean, well, you've heard about the Kelly Ripa diet, right?
No, what?
Okay, so there was this thing where at some point, and I don't even know what this was, but
Kelly Ripa is one of those too.
Oh, hardcore. So there was a thing where they were profiling all these celebrities on what do you eat in a day?
Nothing.
And I don't know why they're doing this, and I don't even know what it was.
They do it on a lot of people.
It was weird. But anyway, so Kelly Ripa's was so extreme that they actually deleted it and cut it out because it was not healthy at all.
They're like, we can't tell people you eat this way.
We can't tell people you eat like this. This is clearly
and promote it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but of course, people grabbed it before it got deleted. So we're like, well, let's see what Kelly Ripa eats for a day. So, and this is how she actually said it too on top of it. She's like, well, I start my day with like a coffee or something, green or tea or something. And then she has, some kind of, not even a smoothie. It's like her supplements. And then she goes,
like a protein shake.
She's like, my first chewable food of the day is this tiny salad with avocado.
Oh my God.
And it's delicious. And
of course it is. You haven't eaten in 16 hours.
Dressing free. There's nothing. It's just like salt and pepper.
Put seasoning? Okay.
I think that's probably it. I mean, for all we know, no.
And salt and pepper doesn't have calories in it, but the salt will make you retain water.
She'll have like a some kind of smoothie, some kind of green juice. And then for dinner, she'll have
a piece of fish and some broccoli.
No, sauteed vegetables and a salad.
No meat. Is she vegetarian?
No. And then if she's feeling froggy, if she's feeling like she wants to give herself a treat, she'll have a single chocolate covered almond.
Oh my God.
And I am not kidding.
That is what she eats
every day. And she never, ever she never changes. That's what she's been eating for years.
Oh my God. How is that?
And she said, because you never know when you need to be ready for camera ready or for whatever. That's what she said. She goes, you'll have to be ready every day. physically. And I'm like, how do you even thrive on that? Like, how do you even...
I'm wondering if a doctor isn't like, how do you... Well, you know what? These celebrities, they get these vitamin IVs.
Yes.
Because Kendall Jenner does it.
She takes a ton of supplements.
Because they don't eat.
I know.
Oh my God.
So they deleted it and said, we can't tell people you eat like this.
I mean, I can't believe she eats like that.
So people are like, I'm going to try to eat like her. And she's like, I can't eat like this.
So the most significant thing she eats in the whole day is the grilled vegetables.
Yeah.
Because everything else is either lettuce or
hot.
liquid.
It's a hot thing. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's it. She has, it's almost a pure liquid diet with the exception of like 2 vegetable meals.
The salads.
Yeah.
And the veggies.
But she gets her protein from the greens.
Chocolate covered almonds.
On days she feels like cheating.
Oh
Not every day.
God. What is does her husband eat this way? I
don't know if Mark Consuelo eats this way.
Because he is hot. He's gorgeous and he doesn't look like her. He doesn't look unhealthy.
I'm guessing no.
You can tell he works out clearly.
Well, and that means he has to have protein. He has to eat meat.
Yeah, there's no way.
Men need protein.
But she has not an ounce of flesh on her body except for her skin.
Is I remember when I first started watching her 100 years ago when she was with Regis, she said that she gained like 90 pounds when she had babies. Like she gained an unseemly amount of
maybe she actually had
fat.
enough guilt that she would eat.
She ate and then suddenly was down to a size 00 again.
Well, that's like, how you. Wow. Well, now I can see how she does it.
Woo!
I mean, what's that? A total of like 200 calories a day?
I mean, I don't understand. Like, I mean, I understand fat shaming. I was fat shamed. I get it. But to go to that extreme, like what happened to her?
I don't know.
In her life.
I think, you know what, honestly, these celebrities, the environment that they live in, you know, being on TV and being around all these, I think it just becomes
it is what it is.
That's just, look, if you want to be in this business, especially as a woman,
you better be tiny.
You have to be fucking tiny.
Period. And I mean, the thing is
fat girls do not last.
They just, or they're put in a pocket and they use them for certain things.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Like Kathy Bates.
Well, that or like, look at Melissa McCarthy lost a ton of weight because she
didn't want to keep being the fat girl and everything.
Yeah. Or, I mean, and she's so beautiful.
She's beautiful.
I mean, my God.
And she's so damn funny. I love her.
And she's not a size 0. And I think she's stunning.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous.
She is gorgeous. So, well, I mean, they're trying to pretend or make us believe
it's not real.
That people who are, have curves are being accepted more and more. But let's face it.
Do you remember when they thought J-Lo was fat? In the 90s, they're like, she has an ass. We can't work with her.
Right.
And then she got Selena and they said we had to pad her ass because normal people have bodies.
Yeah, indeed.
And so she had to be padded.
You know, this is why Cameron Diaz went out of the spotlight. She got married to someone she really loves.
Benji.
She had a baby and she's like, I am over this. Yeah. Like, I am done being this fake fucking
starving girl.
Cocaine addicted alcoholic so that I can keep getting work. And
for what? And it wasn't even joyous.
She's like, and that's not who I am. Like, I am a normal person. And
you know, the women specifically, the women who can transcend the status of being a size 0, starving, whatever, it's rarefied. It's true. Very rarefied. I mean, they're not, I mean, if you were to meet Meryl Streep, you go, God, do you eat? Even though she looks like a normal woman to us, she's probably a size 2 or a size 4.
Yeah. Totally.
I mean, they're so tiny.
Oh my God. It's so sad. Well, I could never have been a celebrity for that reason.
Hell no. I'd be like, make me the funny girl then, because I'm not starving myself. I like old fashions in the evening. Sorry.
Yeah. Speaking of funny, so Pete Davidson left SNL. I wonder what that means for him.
Well, he's so fucking famous.
He is. So is he gonna do big screen? I wonder.
I mean, the king of the king of
I've yet to
Staten
see that.
Island.
Damn it.
It's good. It's so good.
I've heard it's so good.
It's very good.
You know what? I keep forgetting when I'm like, what do I want to watch? I keep forgetting about it. I gotta watch it.
He's one of those people that industry people say he's so goddamn talented. What in the world? So he just needs the right thing, and people will go, "Oh my God, he's so great." I mean, he's so good.
Yeah, so SNL was a good, stepping stone for him to become known and people see how funny he is. And a lot of people do that with SNL.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great stepping stone for them. So yeah, I'll be curious. Okay, so speaking of all these television things, what we're watching currently, Daryl and I are watching Alone. Season 9.
Too. I'm all caught up.
So are we.
I watched the last episode this morning, as a matter of fact.
This is okay. I don't know what your take is on this, but my take is this. First of all, I love every single person.
I do too. They finally cast some good women that may have a shot.
And they are
badass.
Skilled.
Very.
So skilled. There is not one person couldn't go the whole way.
Well, that one kid that opted out on day
15
or whatever, was it?
Yes, he was 23.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just don't know why I'm out here because
and I get
everything I love is back home. And I'm like, good for you.
Well,
go.
I mean, he had, and his backstory was, So, I mean, for him, I do get it. Yeah. But I'm like, dude, why'd you even come? Like,
because he thought he needed to prove it to himself. Like, he's like, all my skills that I've been working on because of my abusive background. He was working through something.
Perhaps.
And he worked through it.
But I'm sure production was like, thanks a lot. You know what we did to have you on this show?
2 weeks is a long time for some people, though. But I will say this, and I don't know if you've noticed this, and then you can say whatever, is... I told Gerald this after the last episode. I go, are you noticing an underlying theme where people are starting to question if this is moral?
Yes.
I found that fascinating.
I questioned it myself the last couple seasons that I watched it, but I feel like the way they cast it this year, it's a lot different in the way that they're not putting like randos out there that, I've been hunting and fishing my whole life. I can do this. No, these people are either already living this life.
Yes.
Right. Or they're professionals at survival.
Yes.
It's something along those lines, they're hardcore military or whatever. So I feel like they put the people who have the most skill set to do something like this. And it's not cruel.
Yeah, because,
Jerry can't handle watching the squirrels get killed.
Stephanie?
What the squirrel was like,
Stephanie?
Jamie, I wanted to cry.
I said, I can't believe I'm going to start crying over the fact that this squirrel has been killed and the mother squirrel is mourning.
Well, do we know it's the mother or do we think it could have been a wife or a husband?
It could have been or a sister. Sibling. I mean, we don't know. It was a fellow squirrel mate, clearly, and the one dumb one got caught by the snare and she killed it. She had to kill it. Yes. So then it's there. And what made me sad was this little squirrel comes running down and this squirrel had been yelling at her since it got there.
Well, so because Jerry and I were talking about this, I'm like, wait, okay. So, you see a snare, it looks relatively harmless, but I'm like, once it gets its little foot caught in there, is it just struggle until it dies? And he's like, yeah, I'm thinking so.
Well, the first one she caught, it got around its neck.
Okay,
that's
good.
the goal. The goal is for it to die.
But most likely it's going to be a paw.
She has to, well, no, it's usually their body and they're stuck and then she has to kill it. She killed it with a stick. We saw her do it.
I must have missed that part.
Well, they didn't show it.
Okay. All right.
But the part that they and of course
it had a bloody face.
Yeah. Cause she had to hit it in the head to kill it. But what was problematic about that scene was that the other squirrel came down and was like pushing it, going, "Come on, we got to get out of here."
I know. Oh my God, Jamie!
I'm like, Stephanie. And I told Daryl, and he's like, "Do they ever? I've never seen this in my life. I've never seen." And he goes, "I didn't know that squirrels had feelings." I go, "Well, they're mammals. Yes, they have feelings.
We like to think that they don't. Yeah, we all like to think that animals are just animals, and
fish are emotionless."
Most likely.
They are. They're not mammals. But mammals and some amphibians amphibians don't have feelings. Mammals have this, and I can't explain it scientifically, biologically.
Is a penguin an amphibian?
No.
They're mammals.
They're mammals.
Yeah. So if it's warm-blooded and it has its own baby, then it's a mammal.
Because it's called they have to nurture.
Right,
that's the whole point.
Right.
So I'm like, they have tantamount to feelings. They have survival feelings. We gotta get the fuck out of here. And he's like, where are you?
Well, no. And this have you ever watched your squirrels in your yard play?
Oh yeah, or fight, or constantly.
Fight. Both. So they must enjoy. They're social.
They're social creatures. So to watch this other one, and then just this incessant screaming at the lady,
it was so sad.
And she's like, she goes, but just living our lives. We actually kill more people. making plastic. I'm like, say whatever you have to say, but you just fucking killed someone's friend, and it's mad and upset. Right. She goes, well, I'm just an active participant. And then,
well, she's not wrong, but yes.
But then it was like, she mentioned it. And then the kid that left mentioned it. It's like, we don't have to be here. We don't have to kill things.
That's true.
And that's the moral thing.
And it did cross my mind when she was saying all of that. She's like, well, I have to do what I have to do. And I'm like, okay, honestly.
You could literally go, I'm done, and leave. And leave those
filming a reality show.
Exactly.
That doesn't have to, and it's for entertainment.
And that's the morals I'm wondering are swimming under. And I was telling
So Daryl, I was missing the point. I thought you were talking about, like, is it morally irresponsible to make these people suffer? But no,
they can suffer all they want. But
it's a choice.
But the question I have is, I said, what I've learned from following this show for so many years now is that this is a very small community. They all know each other.
You mean the people who are there?
Yeah, all the women know each other. They're all friends because there's so few of them that do this at this level.
And
they do lessons and schooling.
Yeah,
and
but
all
they
this
do,
stuff.
and it's probably an online thing, where like other survivalists
and they meet and they know.
Yeah, they probably do.
Yeah, especially the women. And so I said, isn't it interesting how they're all kind of talking about this moral questionable thing they're doing for television, for entertainment. They're taking lives to quote unquote survive. But the reality is they can just get a walkie-talkie and go, I'm tapping out, and they can go eat a Big Mac.
Right.
So it's like, what is the point of it?
Right.
And for what, $500,000?
Yeah.
And you've killed how many animals since you've been there for 60 days?
I know, right?
And I'm like,
is it 60 days?
Well, however long it is.
No, I'm just curious because Jerry and I, the first season we ever watched was the $1 Million season.
For 6 months.
So
it's
100. It was 100 days.
100 days. Yes.
So we never knew what the normal was.
It's however long anyone can last. And I don't know what the maximum is. I think it's 100. Okay. I think they don't let them go past 100.
Okay.
But
it's pretty much just until you outlast everybody else.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay.
So I freaking love the show.
I do
outside
too.
of the moral thought process of
now that you've planted that seed, every time I watch it, I'll be like, see, another squirrel that didn't have to die for my entertainment.
But then why don't we give a shit when they fish 1 million fish out of the sea? Like, we don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so what's
right.
the difference really? And, and on the side note, I want someone to kill a bear. I want to see it. I'm ready. They all want to kill one.
I don't want them to kill one.
Really?
I just feel like it's so sad. I'm like, why this bear is just living his best life. He's not doing anything.
Culling the land because there's too many is humane.
Agreed.
And so if that's why they put them there, because they might take out the maximum, they might take out 10 bears.
If that.
There's like 10,000 bears on that island.
Bears are very, what do you call it? There's lots of them.
And there are parts of our country that there are way too many, and they need to be
that's why they allow hunting.
Out. And the thing is like, Stephanie, I have heard enough stories about bears. They are not they are not friendly.
No.
They eat you from the ass up. They don't care.
Well, they're animals.
Savage.
Yes, they're predators.
So, I saw a video of a woman, probably our daughter's age, and she was holding a baby bear in her lap. And she's like, "Oh, you're so cute." And it was probably the size of a dog, like a husky.
And it went for the jugular.
It was a baby.
Yeah, but
a baby cub. And she's like, "Oh my God, it's so cute." That cub grabbed a hold of her chin and would not let go.
Oh my God.
It bit her face
off.
And she's like, ah, ah! And I'm like, that's what you get, you stupid bitch.
Yeah,
that's
too.
what you get. It's a fucking bear.
Yeah, it's like holding a baby panther.
What's wrong with you?
Stupid.
Idiot. What idiot said, "Oh yeah, this is my pet bear"? Like, you really? Fool. It's a bear.
I mean,
what are you doing?
And they're powerful, even little.
This little baby sharky's so cute. It's a shark.
I know. How dumb can you be?
Yes,
idiot. Oh my God. And
dumb.
A baby might not swallow your whole body, but it'll take a leg off.
It'll eat you.
Yes.
If it is allowed.
If it can.
Fucking cats will eat you if you're dead. It doesn't matter. Oh, hey, that's where I draw the line, all right? Mittens would never.
God, I love Mittens so bad. Mittens on that movie is literally my favorite.
God. Okay, so I know you're mad at me, but I did not watch an entire episode of Hot Ones.
I'm not mad. I'm just like, they're 26 minutes of your time.
I know. I have not seen this. Okay.
She thinks watching a trailer or a clip is sufficient.
Hot Ones is on television.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Wow, great.
I have seen,
because what I love about it is this guy just started it and it became a thing. He's like, I can't believe that this is like a thing.
I can't believe celebrities of all walks of life want to sit on this soundstage
now, and now he can be on prime time.
So I have seen
because it's so funny.
I've seen Paul Rudd. I have seen comedians. Bobby Lee is a hilarious comedian, and I've seen him eat. And he's like, "Shut up now!" And he's like, "I'm sorry. I don't normally yell at people. I'm a peaceful person."
It brings out the animal and yes, it's very primal.
Yes.
And what I love about it is that these celebrities who are so polished and how they do interviews and how they're perceived in the public, they can't keep it together. This is a breaking point for almost all of them.
Yeah.
That they literally they can't be cool.
No.
They can't have the right thing to say because their mind is so focused on their mouth being pain. Yeah. That it distracts them. And this guy takes full advantage of it.
He's like, I love it.
Yeah. So he'll start asking them questions when they're at their most vulnerable state.
Interviews.
Yes. And it's brilliant.
The one thing that I did recognize, and I did read about it as confirmation, is that you start with a mild and you work your way up, except that he doesn't do that actually.
Well, they're all hot.
They are, but what he does, there's like 10, I think.
Yes.
So he starts with, whatever mild, but apparently the hottest one is actually like the 8th one.
Yes.
It's not the 10th one.
The 10th. See, the thing is they all vary. He changes them. It's never the exact same sauce every time.
Exactly.
Except for I think they have their own brand now, and I think they always make sure that one slips in.
Well,
but
good.
Right, who wouldn't? But
should.
But for the most part, and the thing about hot sauce, so I am a hot sauce connoisseur, and maybe that's why I like it.
You are more than me, but I do love hot sauce.
Yeah, and my son is too. So it's kind of like our thing. So I have become more. It's become a thing. Yeah. Like it's like beer. Like people are crafting. Yes, crafting hot sauce now.
Yes.
To where it's like, it's not just about being hot. It has to have like the flavor and all of that. Yeah.
Can't be hot for the sake of heat.
Right.
It's no fun.
So sometimes what they'll do is they will slip in one that's just solid heat.
I saw that
that's
one.
Literally like no flavor.
I've seen one. They're like, this is just hot, isn't it?
The only thing it's there to do is burn the shit out of your mouth.
For no
good reason.
Yeah.
And so it's usually quite unexpected when they do it, and that's what's so funny about it. And some people, I guess it's the perception of what you have about the celebrity, and then when you see them react in this way, it's shocking or not what you think they would have done, and that's what makes it funny to me.
I saw Mila Kunis go, "Can I drink this ranch?"
She did. She's like, Gordon Ramsay's was so funny to me because he bought a bag of things.
Oh.
He brought a bag of things to prepare for when he encountered something really hot.
Like milk, cheese, bread.
They give you milk and they give you water.
Okay.
Those are on the table.
Water makes it worse.
For some people, but they give you a big they give you a big pitcher of ice water so you can keep refilling it. And some people just gravitate towards the water.
Well, because you think that's what's going to work, but it doesn't.
And some people aren't huge milk people.
God, so you can have ice cream.
Even with and so Gordon Ramsay comes uber prepared.
He's prepared for this.
He does. So he brought donuts, which is very smart.
Oh, sugar.
Because it's sweet.
Yep.
And so he's shoving donut pieces in his mouth. He also, because he's a chef and he knows how to counterbalance things.
Yes.
He brought a squeeze bottle of lemon juice and a squeeze bottle of lime juice. He was doing that.
Really?
And he was doing it to his chicken. He's like,
oh, that's cheating.
It kind of was, but it didn't really work because he was still hot as shit.
That is amazing.
So it was literally funny. Every time he kept pulling something out of the bag, you're like, what's he going to pull out of the bag next?
It was funny because I thought we should do it.
Jamie, I would love to do it. I didn't think you would do it.
We could air fry some thighs.
Yes.
Because they kind of, boneless thighs kind of flatten out almost like chicken strips.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I make chicken wings for Jeff like 3 days a week.
So I thought we should do that. We should pick, each of us should pick 2 or 3.
I don't think we could do 10.
No, God, no. But I think we could do 6.
Yes.
I think we could do 6.
We could probably do 6.
We could do mild to the hottest.
We'll make 6 our goal.
Okay.
Let's see how far we get.
And I think we should do it.
So
let's plan.
You have to buy, or do we? No, we do the same sauces.
We'll each buy 3 and then we'll line them up.
Okay, there you go.
And then we'll try them all.
So I get my 3, you get your 3, but we both have to try both.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it. Do it.
I think we would have to have Daryl help us though, no?
Help us how?
Or are we going to record it?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, how would we would need someone to maybe operate. Well, no, I guess you're right.
No, we'll do it.
Let's do it in here.
Yeah. I mean, we can have him sit in for sure.
No, in case we can't speak. Because then it'll be moments of silence where we're just like...
we'll figure it out.
He could commentate.
You know what? You're right. We should have him come in and commentate. He'll also want to try it.
Well, that would be even funnier.
Let's do it. Okay.
How is he with spice?
He's pretty good.
He likes it?
Yes.
Okay.
Loves.
Okay.
He's more... Okay, so this is not racist.
Just like, oh, okay.
But he would eat Asian food every day if he could. Well, every day.
Well, how is that racist? Because
hold on, I'm not done yet.
He's as white as they come.
Well, I'm not done yet. He loves sushi. He loves Chinese food. He loves Thai food. He loves
He loves pho or pho.
Anything. So I go, oh, let's do takeout tonight. And he goes, yeah, okay. And then he gets really silent. I go, why aren't you saying anything? He goes, because you always say that I want Asian food and I don't. And I go, you do. He goes, well, I do love it. And I'm like, I don't know why you didn't marry an Asian woman.
So you could have
could cook for you
every day.
Or at least their mother could cook for you all the time. He goes, God. I don't like Asian women. And I'm like, well,
because they don't have boobs and a butt.
Exactly. That's what he said. And I go, why not? And he goes, they have no boobs or ass.
Unless
and that's very generalizing. I'm aware. True. I'm not saying that Asian women don't have breasts. I'm just saying, generally speaking, he prefers the Hispanic ladies.
Yeah,
he likes the Latinas.
So he diverse.
He likes Hourglass very much so. Oh, speaking of, oh my God, I can't believe we were on this. I'm so glad we're talking about it. I was watching. It was a YouTube, and it was Dr. Drew. Do you know? Okay.
Yeah,
I like Dr. Drew
Pinsky.
I like Dr. Drew. I know people don't think I like him.
Why? Why don't they like him?
Oh, he was a little anti-vaxxy in the beginning of the pandy, but whatever.
Oh, really? Oh, I had no idea.
I don't give a shit though. Whatever.
Well, he's not affecting my life. I got one.
Listen, his forte is not that. It's other things.
This man has made a living in entertainment with. I mean, and
let's not forget
who does what he does.
First of all, he has educated more teenagers about sex than anyone else I can imagine.
Exactly.
He's like the Dr. Ruth of men.
He does. I mean, he started out with Adam Carolla. That's how I first knew him.
Yeah, me too. Loveline.
Loveline, right?
Everybody loves Loveline. The original Loveline was so educational for so many kids.
It was. And I loved it. It was very interesting.
I listen to it all the time. Anyway, my point is that he was talking to Christina P., who is my new favorite female comedian. I love her. Anyway, they were having a dialogue about porn. And I am not a huge fan of porn personally.
Same.
But I don't begrudge anybody who thinks they need it. But
does anyone need it? It's just something.
I don't know.
Either you like it or you don't.
Yeah, you prefer it or you don't. I don't know. But anyway, he was talking about
men. It's no surprise that men like it.
Well,
they're visual. Well, yes.
And this is my point. He said men are visual creatures. Yeah. And that's why a lot of them choose pornography because they can see boobs and ass and pussy,
and they don't actually
whatever.
have to do something. They don't have to cheat.
Or penis or whatever it is you're
whatever
into.
you're looking at.
But it was a twofold thing. He said, first of all, when women find out what their husbands are looking at, they're always like, this is what you like?
That's dumb.
And they go, and he's like, no. This isn't what they like. It's what they are choosing to watch.
Right.
It's not you are what they like, not what they're watching. They choose you. And then the other thing he said was that men who are in love with you don't see the flaws you do because you're only focused on the stuff they absolutely are obsessed with.
Right.
For example,
I believe it.
I hate my stomach. More than anything in the world. I've had 2 abdominal surgeries. I have scars. I have a fupa that won't go away because of a deep scar.
Right.
I hate it.
Same.
And when I look in the mirror, I go, bleh.
It's all you see.
Daryl, nothing.
Doesn't care.
He's like, what are you talking about? It's you're gorgeous. You're perfect. I don't understand. I go, why? Well, because he's focused on my boobs.
Yeah, that's all he thinks about.
Other things, but I mean, in general.
I get what you mean, yeah.
And when I asked him, I'm like, well, what was the first thing you found attractive? He's like, do I really have to tell you?
Honestly.
It's your tits.
Come on.
Like, he's a boob man, And I'm like, oh, okay. So I found it. I don't know why it never even occurred to me in my old age that men look at women as body parts. Anyway, I was so surprised. I'm like, why is this so surprising to me?
I don't know why, but it is hard to wrap your mind around that,
they just divvy up the parts.
They really do.
They're like, I don't even see it. I'm like, I wish I could be you.
Oh my God. Jerry and I got into this fight the other day. Well, not the other day. It was just a couple weeks ago. And I cannot remember what the hell we were talking about. The thing is, when you fight with an UGG, you are already fighting a losing battle because even if we concede or you get a couple digs in, at the end of the day, you will be the one crawling away.
And you'll be apologizing.
And you'll be
even
apologizing,
when you're right.
even if you might be right. And
we'll find it.
And so, and we will have said things that should never be said.
Stephanie, the other day I said something so heinous that Daryl, he couldn't believe it.
Was he speechless?
He was speechless. And then my daughter started laughing.
Which one? Oh, Malia?
Mackenzie. She had come up for a visit. And I had said something about someone else.
Oh, it wasn't
about him.
Oh, thank God. Because I was thinking
no, and it wouldn't have applied. But I said, do you know how horrible? Oh, we were talking about nobody And I said, do you know how horrible she is? I go, she's so horrible. Her father had to die to get away from her.
Oh my God.
Terrell was gobsmacked. He's like, how could you say that? How could you say that?
You're like, it's true.
I'm like, what am I lying? And I mean, the absolute uncaring deadpan face.
Because you don't care.
He knows I'm serious.
Right.
And Mackenzie's like,
that's a good one, Mom.
She goes, it's a good joke. But it's bad. And I'm like, show me the lie. Anyway, moving on.
So it was something.
What did you say?
I don't recall because it was pretty typical of an argument. It wasn't like a terrible.
It was just a bickering.
Yes, that just escalates.
Yeah,
you know,
it happens.
Because I was probably premenstrual, and so normally I would probably stop halfway through, but I wasn't. No, I was being a pit bull. I cannot remember what it was, but Jerry always feels like the worst thing he can say to me is like, "Let's get divorced," or "I'm going to get divorced," or something like. And to me, I'm like, "Please do."
We're like, challenge accepted,
right? So and. I don't know why he continues. It's just it's a last straw effort for him, and a battle he's clearly losing.
When he's back, he feels like I'm losing.
100%. And so that's what he goes. And I usually either laugh or like go, God, please, I wish you would. I'm like, do it. And then he's like, I don't want to, which I know.
Of course not. It's not going to happen.
I am like a piece of sugar and Jerry is the ant. He can't stop. He can't get enough. It's never going to happen.
I'm obsessed with you, don't you know?
God. and I know it. And so he's like that. I'm like, please do go ahead and everything else. He's like, I don't want to get divorced. I'm like, and that's why I own you. I own you. Whose pussy is this? But I was so serious.
Say it.
I was dead serious. And he's like, he was so angry. Just like, he sauntered off to the garage. I'm like, good.
Go tinker. That's so funny.
I did feel a little bad. I didn't feel bad. Like I was mad, obviously, so I didn't feel bad, but it just felt bad. Like how terrible would it be to be so defeated in your marriage that
I don't know. I've seen Daryl hang his head and just go, I give up. I just give up. I don't.
Best thing to do. By the way,
yeah. He's like, I'm exhausted.
Because I'll never get exhausted.
No, I'll fight to the death.
Ever. Yeah,
to the death.
Same. I mean, it just, it's,
I don't know.
We act like we're proud of this when we shouldn't be.
I'm not proud of it. I hate it.
Yeah.
But the other thing is I am not afraid of confrontation at all.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have an ugly and awkward moment?
Fuck.
I'll tell you mine.
Okay, please do. I'm so bad at this. God.
Let's do our ugly and awkward moment of the week. I didn't actually do anything awkward, but it was thrust upon me.
Oh, no.
As I've told you in the past, when Daryl is just completely like, he will not even leave my orbit, I need to get out. So I go to Ulta or something. So I went to Ulta.
God, I love Ulta.
I love it too. And I hadn't been in a really long time. And so I went and I'm like just perusing. I'm like, oh, la, la, la. And I can be there for like ever.
It's huge and it says everything you love.
I can literally walk up and down every aisle 3 times.
Me too.
And then when I was there,
and you're like, wait, I want to go back to that one thing because I might want it.
I'm like, maybe I want it. And then this is not the awkward moment, but it really annoyed me because so I could already tell that I had a face when I walked in because I want to be left alone.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to shop quietly. Yeah. Leave me alone.
They're usually okay. If you give them the brush off initially, but if you have someone who's...
So... Exactly. This woman, and this is even the awkward moment, but it began this parade of issue. And so this woman, I'm standing in the skincare aisle. I'm like, I really need a good eye thing. And I'm looking at eye things. And I'm like, God, am I going to spend this much money on this? I don't know. That's kind of crazy. And when you're alone in Ulta, you can justify just about everything.
Hell yes.
So I'm like, I don't know. So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to wonder. And this woman shows up and she's like 6 feet tall. And she's like in her 50s, 60s. Okay. And she's like, I noticed that you're looking at things. I would love to show you this thing. And I go, you know what? I'm really not interested, but thank you anyway.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. So she walks away and then I'm looking and I'm still looking at the same stuff. And she comes again with a sample in her hand.
Of the things she wanted you to see.
And she goes, I really want you to try this. And I said, you know what? I was really clear with you. I don't want to buy it. Thank you. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
She didn't come back, did she?
No, twice is enough.
I was going to say.
When I said, I thought I was clear.
hostile.
I was hostile. I'm like, leave me the fuck. Don't women come here to be left alone?
Yes.
I mean, I do.
Yes, we do.
I don't go to need if I need assistance, I will come to you.
I'll find you.
There's a million of you.
There's a million of you, and we all know you have that thirsty look on your face, and you will help us.
I get it. You're bored. I understand, but I'm not social, and I don't want to talk to you, strange lady, with your bum cream. So I'm doing this. So finally, I'm making.
So now you're annoyed because you're like, now I'm the bitch in Ulta,
and it's ruined. It's ruined because now it is ruined.
They're all talking about me at the register, like, going, this bitch over here.
So and as you know, I wear a lot of black.
Yes.
So I was wearing this really cute black summer dress that I love, and I'm walking around. I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I'm irritated. I have a few items. I think I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
So there was a woman with her mom. Like, the mom was probably in her 80s, and the daughter was in her 60s.
Right.
So they were walking around, and the daughter clearly has had Botox and face.
She looks amazing.
And so they're getting ready for some kind of event, and she's asking all the people to help find her mom the right makeup for her 80-year-old face. Anyway, I'm getting ready to go in line, and I'm looking at some tiny things, and the older mother turns to me because they're like, well, I don't know if this is right or not. I'm not sure. She turns to me and she goes, do you work here?
To you?
Yeah, because the thing is when you have a face like I don't want to be dealt with, you get kind of confident. You're like, just please don't deal with me.
Right.
So people think, and this has happened to me many times.
Oh, they think you work there.
They go, do you work? And she goes, do you work here? And she had this snotty attitude about it. And I go,
thank God I don't.
And I go, no. And she goes, so you just walk around wearing black? And I'm like,
and you just walk around with that ugly face?
And I go, absolutely I do. Are you in line? No. I'm like, get out of my way.
You're like me at the grocery store. Move.
And I'm like, good. And then I just like swiftly brush around her. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening in this whole time?
Oh my God. I would have been like, I'm putting my basket down. I'm going to Sephora. Bye.
I almost did that.
Oh my God.
I almost did it. But the girl that helped me, she's like, how are you? And I'm like, well, I'm fine. She goes, lickety split. Bye.
Do they do commission there or something?
I don't know.
Because that is annoying.
I mean, at least the checker was
other women
nice.
Don't we feel each other? Like, I feel other women.
Vibe.
100%. I feel your vibe.
Did not pass the vibe check.
Yeah. You know what? Damn it.
I was really irritated. And I'm like, is it because I came in the middle of the day and it was dead and you thought, I don't know. But I'm just like, I very rarely have to go.
Where do I have to go? The library? So that no one will talk to me?
Maybe. I mean, you can't even do anything anymore without somebody being social. And I'm like, stop. What is on my face that says, Jamie, talk to me?
I'm telling you, the whole travel thing. The only reason my hotel and the airport are so close together that I almost rented $100 car just to avoid the 8-minute Uber ride.
Do you know that in Uber you can say, I don't want to talk?
Before they pick you up, just like, don't speak to me?
You can literally say, I don't want to talk.
Oh. Do people use that feature?
Hell yes, they do.
Yeah,
I would.
You know, that's one of the things that's a beautiful thing about taxi drivers. They don't fucking talk to you.
They don't care.
They don't care.
No, they're like, I have things to do.
Yeah, and honestly, you're like the 30,000th person I've seen today, and I don't give a shit.
They don't care where you're from.
I don't crave social talking. Yeah, so. So that's me. Like, I'm literally like, I'd rather... But it's just such a fucking hassle. It's
Uber goes one of two ways. You're either having a therapy session, or you're like, please don't speak. Why silence? Why can't we have partitions? When we ordered a car to get us from the airport to the hotel when we went to Hawaii a couple of years ago, because there are no rentals on Hawaii. Right. So we were like,
I've heard.
It's literally cheaper to hire a car to take you. So we did that, and it was cheaper. Yeah. And so we did it. Well, the man would not stop talking. I mean, he would not stop talking. And then he goes, oh, you're staying at the Four Seasons in Ko'olina? We're like, yeah, we love Ko'olina, and we stayed at all the other places, so we're staying here because it's like a birthday thing. And so he goes, well, you know, it's not really as nice as the other Four Seasons. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, well, I mean, it's Oahu. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? So literally...
Does this man work for the Four Seasons?
No.
Oh, okay. No, I was about to say.
He does. He goes, well, my wife works in Japan and la, la, la. And I'm like, you're ex-military. Shut the fuck up.
Right?
Like, I don't care what your opinion is about the fucking Four Seasons.
And by the way, rude.
And by the way, completely changed my perspective on the Four Seasons. Yeah. The whole time I was there going, why is it... Because I'd never stayed at one before. So I'm like, well, so what is wrong with this one? And how will it be different than...
Not a damn thing.
No, it was amazing.
Yes. And by the way, they cater to literally everyone, no matter where you are in the world.
Dude, unbelievable.
Yes.
But what I hated is for the rest of my life in the back of my brain,
you're going to think that you stayed at the shitty Four Seasons.
About the guy who's working by driving hotel people to their destination.
And there's where you got to pack it away.
Had an opinion that affected me. I'm like, you asshole.
He probably never stayed at a Four Seasons in his life. He worked there. He got a tip.
I'm like,
Stop it.
I even turned to Daryl. I'm like, I mean, you have to tip him, but I mean, I'm just saying.
I mean, yes. You know what? This happens to me at work a lot because I will hear people oversharing.
Yes.
Doing my job.
I overshare.
Well, in work environments.
No.
So there's okay, and I've overshared too. I'm no saint.
No, I'm the worst.
Depending on what I'm hearing or who I'm talking to, I have felt the need to share a little bit because it does make you more relatable to the person.
People want to know that you're not some weird person,
or know that they've not given you these vulnerable details about themselves, and you're holding everything to the vest. Like I'm just going to be that professional. I'm not going to say one fucking thing about myself. No, because then it makes you feel weird and awkward, and then you feel dumb. Like I shouldn't have said that to her. If
I share too much, people go, "Oh wow, you really are a mess, aren't you?"
But then if you overshare, they're judging you because it's like, look, I can overshare because I'm the customer, but you're the person who works there. You can't overshare.
I hate it when I overshare.
So, yeah, we're all guilty of it. Stupid. I've done it too, but honestly, yeah, I mean, I make best friends on the phone all the time.
Oh man, I made best friends with the lady at the county. I told you, she worked for the garbage company, the garbage dump people.
Do you know how many people I have that where they hung up and like, I can't believe I just talked to a welfare worker for an hour and a half.
I have to tell you
about my dead mother.
Daryl told me that I have a knack, and you probably have it too, where people will literally divulge the weirdest thing. I had somebody, I don't even remember where it was, and they're like, I can't believe that I told you that. Right. I'm like, I can't either, but thank you for sharing.
But it's fine. Great. Yeah, you know what? My bestie,
I love the tea.
My bestie says it too. She thanks people for opening up. I feel like it's mutual. I'm like, look, we both weren't expecting to have this conversation because I'm working and you're calling the welfare office.
That's why we bond with people at bars. How many times have you and I bonded with strangers in the bar?
Generally alcohol induced.
God, I told you about the one time that this gentleman came up, and we were out with some friends, and he came up and he started low key hitting on
you.
No, he was gay.
Hitting on friends you were with.
Yeah, and he was kind of like, he handed him his business card and stuff, and I go, where are you from? I just immediately, I'm like, where are you from? He goes, well, I'm originally from Guatemala. And I'm like, oh, interesting. I go, is this your child? And he goes, yes. Ramon, say hello.
Oh, I remember. And
then I got to the point where I said, I don't believe that you have a fiance. So I got up and I walked her drink out to the patio, and there she was with her mother. And I met the mother, who speaks not a lick of English.
They were probably like, who is this person?
And they're like, hola. And so I go, oh, Ramon, is this your abuela? And he's all, yeah. And so I took a photo with them so I could show to everyone at the bar that he really had a fiance.
He's legit.
And they're like, oh God, he really does have a fiance. I'm like, yeah.
Which doesn't mean that he still wasn't hitting.
No, he was gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he came in, and then
the fiance was a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She didn't speak any English.
Well, regardless.
I mean, I'm just saying that
these days you can go both ways anyway. Yeah. You can be like, yes, I'm bi, but I'm currently with the woman.
But he was not giving that
the vibe.
No, he was more like, I'm gay, and this is my family.
Yeah.
But anyway, regardless of all of that, I said, no, he really has a fiance, and we're all talking about it. And then he shows up again. He's like, here's my business card. I'm like, oh, he's really serious.
Oh, gosh.
At some point, I'm like, he's married. Right? It's like, God.
Right.
Rude.
Stop it.
All right. Well,
and you are too, by the way, Ramon.
Yeah. No, that's Ramon. That was the son.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
I don't remember
Ramon's
his name.
Dad.
Yeah, Louis. I don't know what his name was. I can't even remember.
It's just wrong.
Because it doesn't matter. Anyway, all right. Well, I think that's the show. My God. All right. Well, I don't know. I don't even know when the next show is going to be. 4th of July is coming, so I think we have another one.
We will.
Yeah, we're gonna have more. Sure, There's more to come.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to catch up on all our trips.
Oh my God, we have so much to talk about, and we're not even. So much.
Yeah. So we'll have a good
recap.
Yeah.
We'll have a recap coming.
And we'll have to try to remember our awkward moments because they come and go so frequently that I oftentimes will forget them. But,
I hope I don't have any awkward moments in Boston. Future me, please don't.
Don't count on it.
Don't have an awkward moment.
Hopefully it's not so terrible that, it's like publicly humiliating, but.
Well, then I'll never be able to go back to Boston
again. Well, I mean, you know what? I have humiliated myself in public in places that I go. Still.
I have fallen down in some of the most.
It's fine. It happens. I'll never forget your one at the old Sacramento.
Stephanie.
JB, I could not stop laughing about that for days.
And it's real.
And I think, that's the thing. And I feel bad. I hope the listeners can understand the realness of it. But for me, because I'm your sister,
you know exactly.
I know your movements. I know your face. I can see it.
You know.
That's why it's so funny
about the time, or like, what about the time where I this is probably equally as humiliating.
Oh God.
Because I was surrounded by the enemy. But it was when Natalie was getting married at her rehearsal.
Oh God.
And
what did you do?
Well, I mean, other than Daryl and maybe I think one of my daughters was there, and of course Natalie. Other than that, everybody who was there hates me. I mean,
yeah,
I am public enemy.
I've been there, done that.
So
my daughter got married too. Remember?
Yes, I do. And so it was the rehearsal. I was there. I was wearing shorts and a blouse and these really cute sandals that were like 3-inch heels. So we were all done. Everything was done. We were getting ready to walk out and leave the facility. I'm going up the stairs in these shoes, and I swear to Christ, I tripped and fell in front of all of them.
All of them. They were like, they just gave that's the icing on the cake.
That was Christmas, Valentine's Day, and their best birthday
ever,
all wrapped into one.
And they still talk about it to
and
this
in my
day.
mind, I'm like, enjoy it now, assholes. Enjoy it now, because it's the last gift I give you, motherfuckers.
Oh my God.
And in my mind, I'm like, there's no recovering from this.
There's nothing I can do.
Might as well just
this is happening.
Let them soak it up, because you'll never get it again, motherfuckers.
I would die.
I wanted to die.
Well, mine was pretty bad too, because I had Mother with me, so it was never ending.
If this is hell, I
was in it.
Actually, I mean, could hell be any worse?
It wasn't. It couldn't have been any worse.
If they said you're going to hell, I'm like, I've been there. It's fine.
Actually, it can't be any worse than this.
It's fine. I've been tortured my whole life. It's good.
It was
Don't worry.
Really bad. I don't. You know, when
I'm
you're
ready for it.
When you're going through things in your life, when you're going through things in your life, you know, because we're such confident people and we've dealt with so many issues, you don't necessarily feel different. You know, it's like, look, I'm just going through a thing. Like, what else is new?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Like something terrible in my life, and I'm poor, or I just had a baby and I'm 38, or I don't have a job, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You're constantly juggling something, and so you just don't really realize that you're dealing with a lot.
No.
So everything seems normal. Like it's just always a lot.
And then you tell somebody even a morsel.
But then,
like,
or later on when things aren't going on and they're chillax and you look back and you're like, God, how did I, right? You know,
I lived through it.
I look back at that time when I went to my daughter's wedding and I'm like, I don't think it could have been any worse. Yeah. I should have gone by myself.
Yeah.
And it would have been at least
moderately tolerable. Like you could have at least gotten through it.
What was I thinking?
I don't know.
I'm like, I love torture.
Please, I want to be cut.
Yes, whip me more, master. I love it.
Please, beat me. Flog me.
I'm not quite bleeding yet.
I should be punished. I should be flogged. Why?
I don't know.
Oh God!
You know, but this is one of the like I say this all the time. There's like so very few things that are good about getting older. So few.
Yeah.
But this is one of them, is that you learn these lessons and you look back and you're like, I will never do that to myself again. Ever. Like never. Like I am living my life for me.
Yep.
I don't care if that sounds selfish.
It's not selfish.
Yes.
It's normal.
To people, they think like, well, you know, you have responsibilities. You have people in your life that you're accountable to.
When my children come to me with problems and they'll be like, oh, la, la, la. I'm like, that is not a big problem. I promise you.
Yeah.
And I give them a solution immediately and they go, how come I never thought of that? I go, because you're young and I'm old.
And that's just the way it is.
And it's experience.
And it's great.
And that's it.
And be thankful.
Just listen to your big sisters. Listen to your mom. If you have a good mom. If you don't, listen to us.
Yes.
Ask me a question. I'll give you an answer and it will be legit good.
Yes. And I promise you will be the better for it. It will not cause you harm.
No.
It won't cause you trauma that you'll later think about and regret.
And you know what's really great is when you do just start putting yourself first in situations, people don't know what to do.
You mean people who are used to you not putting yourself first?
People don't know what to do. And I don't mean like your family or whatever. Maybe your family, but it's like suddenly you're like, no, fuck this. I'm first. Me first today.
Yeah.
And they're just like, you know, everybody pontificates about like moms, they never put themselves first. They just put their kids first. And then moms put themselves first. And suddenly they're just like, wait, whoa,
they lose their minds. Yeah.
Wait a minute. What do you mean?
Yep.
And you're like, no, I'm better now.
But if they would listen, and I didn't know this either for a really long time because I'm actually learning it about myself as time goes on. the more success that I experience, the better of a human I am all around.
Yeah, your confidence
I'm
is
a better mom. I'm a better wife. I'm a better friend. I'm a better sister. I'm a better everything as I get better within myself.
It's the one great thing about getting older is you do get this self-confidence that you never thought you could have.
I know, but why do you have to have a saggy face while you're doing it? It's like, where's my hot body and my puffy cheeks and my, perfect skin while I'm feeling amazing on the inside.
You can get Botox.
I am.
You could do it.
Well, see, that's the other thing about as you get older and more successful, you can start afford to things like Botox.
I've told Daryl this, and it is not a lie. They're like, "Oh my God, look, I look so bad." I'm like, "No, you don't. You're just poor."
Yeah. Right?
You're not ugly. You just
don't have any money.
You don't have the money to look the way you think you need to look. Exactly. And now, Stephanie, if people knew how affordable Botox is, everyone would do it.
Well, because we all remember when it first came out.
It was insanely expensive. It's not now. It's so cheap.
And I am so there for it.
If you have the money to have a pedicure and a manicure, or you get your nails done twice a month, you can afford Botox.
Well, you know what? Since you and I are going to be doing some traveling.
Yes.
I'm assuming that for your big trip that you have coming up in the fall, that you'll be well prepared.
Yes.
Cosmetically speaking.
Well, I just returned.
Oh, you did? I don't know how often one goes about.
Every 3 months.
Okay.
So I will
So you'll have to do it again or no?
Right before. Because I did it in May. So it'll be right before.
Freshly puffy.
It takes 2 weeks for it to kick in.
Yeah.
So like the other day I woke up and I actually felt like you feel the tingling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's kicking in again. And I can always tell, like when I put on makeup, I can always tell the creases are like non-existent. Oh my God. And I did my forehead this last time.
It looks amazing.
My eyebrows are arched a little too much. And I'm a little concerned about it.
How long has it been?
A couple weeks. So this is it. This is as bad as it's going to be.
Well, I mean,
but it's like,
it is smooth
I'm
as
like,
a baby's butt.
I have this significant arch and I'm like, this is not my normal.
Well, so now when we see like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, sometimes, maybe the needle's just in the wrong spot.
Well, like, she did the frow things here because when you furrow your brow.
That bad.
Because I told her, I'm like, she's like, well, it doesn't matter. There's a reason why we never did the forehead. And then she's like, well, I can do this part though, and it'll be great. She goes, it'll kind of lift everything. And I go, cool, let's try it. So I did it. And like a week later, I'm like, when did I get such an arch on my eyebrow? Like, this is like, people die for this arch. Like this arch.
Yeah, I see it.
And I'm like, but I'm like uncomfortable because it's not normal for me. And I'm like, do I look weird now?
No, you don't look
Cruella
weird.
DeVille.
But no, you don't look weird. But it is the reason why celebs who do so much of it start to look unrecognizable. It's like you don't even look like yourself anymore.
I don't want that,
and you don't want that, right? So
what I've got done, what I'm doing is done. Like there's no.
That's more. As far as you're gonna go.
Oh yeah, no. In fact, this was an experiment. Yeah. Like this is not.
That's how it all starts.
Stephanie.
We start experimenting. They're like, well, wait, this looks kind of good.
The second Daryl goes, I don't think and I'm like, you're right. I'm done.
When you start doing lip fillers,
I'm not. I refuse.
Yeah.
I refuse to do anything like that. I can't. I mean, the only thing is I started doing this because I was very self-conscious about the lines around my mouth.
Marionettes.
The marionette lines.
That's what you call it. Yep.
And
you called it, not me.
Yeah. And somebody said, oh yeah, I know. Yeah, you have that. And I'm like, wait.
And then they justify, and you're like, oh my God, someone else thinks it too.
I'm like, okay.
It's not just in my mind.
And so Joe's like, well, I don't care. And I'm like, I care. I saw photos, speaking of, when we went to Hawaii and I saw all the photos. I'm like, I can't. I look like a I look like a granny. Before. You know those apple dolls that people make in school?
No.
They take an apple and they carve out a face and then they let it dry.
Yes, I've made one.
That's what I felt like it started to look like. And I'm like, no, this is not happening. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So
does Mother do any type of any of this? Oh, she would.
No, she had her eyes done and a nose job. So I mean, she goes straight for the surgery.
Yeah,
she doesn't fuck around with Botox.
Well, under the guise that it was medically necessary.
I had a deviated septum.
Well, she did break her nose significantly. That was no joke. But the eyes, and Hey, I knock no one for doing. Like, do what you got to do. People who have migraines who are getting Botox now, they're like, oh hell yes.
Let me tell you something, Stephanie. Haven't had a migraine since I started getting Botox.
That's so great.
Not a lie.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm like, well, there's something to that.
Yeah. So why don't you make the doctor pay for it?
Because this is not an insurance level type of thing.
Oh, because I have a friend at work who's doing it.
Sick.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah, but they do it in places that you can't see it.
That's true.
So it's like, forget it. And it's
so for her, she's like, yeah, they did it for her migraine, but then they're like, look, you still have like half a syringe left. Do you want me to put it somewhere else?
Hell yes.
You already paid for it. She's like, yes.
Forehead, please. Yep. This is what most women.
So that's what they did. Yeah.
But what she did is she did it here in the between my eyebrows because if you're older,
like me, look, Jamie, I have it. Somebody told me I did.
It all kind of starts to go into the center.
I frown all the time. I'm always pissed off.
So definitely get it done. I will give you the name of my girl if you want to go.
Sweet.
The Office. It's amazing.
Well, I know who it is because the surgeon who is it's a friend. Well, a client.
He does it too.
Oh, he does?
Yes.
Yeah. We've known him for 30 years.
Yes. Yes. And he's the one, it's been recommended to get my eyes done there.
Yes. He only does eyes.
Yes. That's his specialty. And apparently he's very, very good.
He is.
Everything I've read.
He's been doing it forever.
He's like the number one. And they're like, they'll all go because he's going to retire one day and you're going to be sorry you didn't get him.
I was going to say he's been in practice for at least 30, if not 40 years.
Yeah. Anyway.
But he's not that old. But yeah. Anyway.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.